A very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the session at the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women, where we honor the millions of Ukrainian women who fled their country due to the Russian declaration of war in Ukraine. We welcome you all from the United Nations, Canada, the United States, Ukraine, Poland, Greece, the Netherlands, and the world. Welcome.
We are pleased to honor the millions of Ukrainian women who fled their country due to the Russian declaration of war in Ukraine. Today, I'm honored to present the theme of these proceedings: hope, resilience, and unity. Today, International Women's Day 2023 occurs in the midst of the ongoing war in Ukraine. Hundreds of thousands of women are forced to flee their homes. There are many women serving in the armed forces in Ukraine. In terms of the numbers of military personnel, Ukraine is ahead by NATO's standard with approximately 56,000 female troops. And to all the female soldiers serving in the military globally, I salute you as well. It's been 1 year since Russia launched its full-scale attack on Ukraine. Over the past 12 months, we have seen the conflict unfold, with millions of lives lost and millions more displaced. And we have also seen the crucial decimation of civilian infrastructure until this very minute. But today, we recognize hope. Today, we recognize unity. And today, we recognize resilience. Today, I want you to lend your imaginations to the chaotic streets of Ukraine, where women are fleeing their country just to protect their children. I want you to imagine wounded women breastfeeding their crying babies among the rubble and the chaos. Women giving birth under mortar attacks. Women taking part in rescue efforts, preparing food, giving birth to new life, to new hope. Women waiting for hours at the borders for freedom and safety. Women driving armored cars and trucks because their country is under attack. Women on the march with the few things they were able to gather in the cold and snow. Women who lost their lives. Women who are being raped continually. Yes, I want you to think of the horror. And I also want you to think outside of Ukraine, to the other women who are collecting aid, working in politics, in diplomacy, and in the media to find solutions, of activists protesting in the streets, of journalists being beaten, brutalized, and arrested, of women, daughters, mothers, wives, sisters, and friends, all building societies, sustaining economies, bridging education and creativity, guarding creation, protecting humanity. And I want you to think of the imprisoned women as well. I also want you to think of the lesbians and the trans and the bisexual women, women in silence of psychological and physical violence, of girls forced into an arranged marriage, forced to prostitute themselves. According to the United Nations Commission on Human Rights, women account for nearly 40% of the millions of civilian casualties recorded in 2022. And of the estimated 7.9 internally displaced people in Ukraine, women now constitute about 90%. In the face of ongoing security threats, women and girls are experiencing increased gender-based violence, sexual harassment, and conflict-related sexual violence. Today, protecting women and civilians and providing aid to the nearly 18 million of Ukrainians in need is the top priority of School News Nationwide and its president, Mr. Bill Tingley, and the president of the Holocaust Remembrance Association. The long work of journalists to investigate war crimes and serve justice to survivors is at the forefront. And for this, I call upon the long history of antagonism between the Ukrainian government and journalists and members of civil society. I make mention of a car bomb that killed fellow journalist Pavel Sheremet and the killing of Katerina Hansyuk, a well-known anti-corruption journalist. As women continue to bear different and additional burdens of conflict, they must be represented in all decision-making platforms. On the escalation, conflict prevention, mitigation, and other processes in pursuit of peace and security for all the people of Ukraine. Women in Ukraine are taking on leadership roles in their households and communities, and they remain largely underrepresented in decision-making spaces relating to humanitarian and peace processes. Pope Francis said, "To hurt a woman is to insult God." In these hours, we entrust ourselves that all violence in Ukraine and in the world will come to an end. That every woman and every man and every boy and every girl may live in peace. That we shall find places to heal, to recover emotionally, to talk to each other about our problems, about our expectations and our fears. School News Nationwide, the Commission on the Status of Women, and the Holocaust Remembrance Foundation remain committed to delivering results across tactical priorities in Ukraine, to mobilize urgent and sustained actions to the empowerment of all women and girls, and also to the attainment of Goal number 5 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal Agenda. I thank you.